Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about how to handle tired days and why they're no longer triggering for me. Today is just a really good example. This isn't what I was going to talk about today, but it actually fits really well. I work out in the morning. Everyone knows that. That hears me talk about structure and my habits a lot. I worked out with a friend of mine last night. He goes to the gym at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, which is very different than when I go to the gym, of course. When you go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, you could basically overdose on caffeine and you'll be, the half-life of the caffeine is gone by the time you go to sleep at night. So took a bunch of caffeine at, I think 7:40 is basically when I ingested the last of it. And then we worked out for 2 hours. And as I was driving home, it was like 10. I was thinking, I was in the sauna at 9:55. And I'm like, I get up in 6 hours and 45 minutes from now. And then I've been home and I haven't even done my other stuff. Then I got home and did everything I had to do. I ate dinner. Eric was in bed. By the time I did some stuff with my notes and then my daily calendar stuff, it was basically almost 11. So, and I was wide awake. I tossed and turned from 11 to midnight. And then I basically read and played the online World Series of Poker app from 12:30 to 3 o'clock in the morning and was wide awake. And then went back to the gym at 3:30 in the morning till 5:05 and did a leg workout, which is what I usually do on Tuesdays. And then I came home and slept like an unrefreshed like hour and 40 minutes. So in the last 31 hours or so, I think I've probably slept an hour and a half. This is a lot less sleep than I would recommend anyone to try and get, but it brings me back to the days when I felt like when I got really bad sleep all the time. And I feel pretty tired today, and I have a pretty busy day. Tuesdays tend to be busy days for me. So I wanted to make a video talking about how I handle this, and it's good to see it in action. So I think it's important for people to see videos like this. If you're struggling with insomnia, if you're going down the rabbit hole of sleep tests and all sorts of supplementation because the fear of not getting good sleep and what it could do to your health and your immune system. It's so important to break those beliefs down and become very, very balanced and aware, self-aware about those mechanisms that you're doing. And again, Phil at OCDrecovery.com is how you reach us. And come to one of our webinars. The one tonight has 100 people again, won't be over by the time this disputing beliefs. So the 1 week ago will be almost a week and a half ago. By the time this goes in the channel was 110, 109. This one's 100 plus. So the webinars are getting bigger and bigger. They are a lot of fun. So right now is a good example of what my life looked like, or many of you are living right now for a long time. I'm quite tired, okay? And I'm on pretty strict protocols for caffeine because my seizure, that was about 10 weeks ago now. So I've only been having 1 cup a day. We tried to bring back 2 for a little bit, but I was having some wonky deja vu symptoms, which are basically the symptoms that you get before major seizures. So, because remember, they thought I had epilepsy, then they were like, no. Well, at first I thought I had a brain tumor because I was having these crazy deja vu spells where I was forgetting who I was and what my name was. And I was like, yeah, this is not good. So failed the tests, everything, functional MRIs, cardiograms, electrocardiograms, EEGs, nothing. And they were like, oh, that's right, you did have viral encephalitis meningitis, so you probably have some weird synapse issues and brain wiring, etc. And caffeine is a neurostimulant. So until you're far away, I think I'm going to try to have 2 cups of coffee again on August 1st, which will be about 4 to 5 months away from, which is difficult for me because I love caffeine. I like the taste of it, Of course, I can drink decaf coffee, but it just doesn't do the fucking trick now, does it? So I'm tired for sure. You could see it probably in my face. Even when I was trying to get sleep in my bed, it was very unrefreshed. I was tossing and turning. Then I just got up anyway, took a shower and ate. So, and I knew this was going to happen last night because I was working out. I was thinking, yeah, there's no way I'm going to sleep tonight. Not with this level of caffeine and then going to sleep. It's just not going to happen. But I did have a good workout. It was a lot of fun trying something new, and I just paid the consequences right. So I just cost-benefit ratio. Cost, good workout with a friend in a new gym, a gym I don't go to, so different machines. Bad news is I didn't sleep well, and it's probably going to mess my day up in certain ways. So concentration feels a little bit off. Brain is a little bit foggy, but that's to be expected when you sleep an hour in coming up, will be 2 days, 36 hours or so, 40 hours by the time I go to bed tonight. So it's to be expected, but I'm not scared of those symptoms, so it doesn't create a panic response. Now, if this happened again tonight, I still wouldn't be scared because I've had this happen before when I've gone to music festivals and being recovered. So the fear comes down to a couple different things, okay? So fear number one, if I stay in this state forever, my life is ruined. I can't live like this. This is the worst thing ever. There's nothing worse than being tired. This is the worst experience you could go through, etc., etc. A lot of the compulsions that I used to do and that people will do is compulsively taking melatonin. Melatonin is not inherently good or bad. It has to be the individual. What we're looking at is how the person is using the melatonin, specifically the individual using it. Compulsively watching sleep-related videos, how to know what type of sleeper you are, compulsively buying different pillows and different mattresses. Again, none of these things are inherently good or bad. It's the why behind why you're using them. So the best way to recover from insomnia or sleep-related fears is accepting that you never need perfect sleep. And the reality is that if you don't get good sleep, of course, there's going to be probably some health detriments. But it's just worked up beyond belief in today's society. We're so afraid of doing anything that's not optimal. The word optimal is problematic. That word doesn't need to exist. I don't want to use the word should, but it gets lots of people in trouble, and then they don't do things in their life because they're looking for optimal things. You know, when I hear people nowadays, especially in the bodybuilding world, trying to optimize every angle of their workouts, just go to the gym, work out hard, and go home. Like, that's what 99.9% of people don't even have the genetics to be a top-level athlete. That doesn't mean you can't work hard at what you do. It just means that you don't have it in you to be at the top, and that's okay. It's like a football player. You know, one of the most mature and responsible things a human can do in any venture in their life is to look at it realistically. And I get it. Like, if you like doing something and you're not the best at it, then go ahead and do it. But it is important to be aware that maybe this is not what I'm good at, and I could be putting my effort into something with a more beneficial outcome, not just in a money perspective and in anything perspective. But that's a different conversation. So melatonin usually has to go for a long time. I take melatonin a couple times a month, but it's completely random. I'll probably take one. This is such a good time to do this video. I'll probably take one tonight. I might take a little bit of vitamin D and vitamin C because I feel myself getting a little bit sick. But again, that's usually when I'll do it. It's very random. I keep up with all my systems as best as I can, but I apply compassion because if I do have to like pass out for 10 minutes today during the coaching call. So tell me about but this is just the reality of life. By the way, this is what happens to people all over. This idea that people need to be on their A game at work all the time is just absolutely fucking insane. It's completely crazy, and it creates perfectionistic nightmare belief systems. If you're a mom who works at a bank and you're a teller, let's use an example of someone who's a teller at the bank. Like here in Colorado, we have an Ag Credit Union, and you have 3 kids between the ages of 2 and 7. They kept you up all night. You still have to go to work. You don't have to, but you rationally should go to work because it's your responsibility and your duty because your kids were up having diarrhea and puking their brains out all night and you slept like 45 minutes and you have to put on a face and act like that. This idea that we can't be tired at work and the fear of making mistakes, it creates so many problems. If you have kids, you're not going to be at work on top of your A game, right? That idea of the A game too is just as problematic as any of those big ones, like the one in a relationship or needing the perfect job. And then what happens is you just stall your feet in the mud. You don't make any progress in your life because you're not taking any risk. So people in the past went to work no matter what was going on in their life. Before COVID, you could be working a cubicle and the guy next to you could be dying of fucking Ebola. Obviously, I'm kidding, but for an example standpoint, they could have the flu and you're just like, John, you're all right over there? They're like coughing all over their hands and like wiping. You're like, oh, damn, John. But the world changed after COVID. We turned into what I like to call a hypochondriac bubble. The whole world. This idea that people don't go to work sick. This idea of a safety environment. Remember the movie Bubble Boy? God, what was the name of the actor that played in that? But the movie Bubble Boy, that's basically what we're still living in to a degree in many countries. I mean, we still see people walking outside alone in masks. It's not about, we're not here to make fun of anyone, but it just is very telling on where we've reached as a society with all the stuff. And sleep-related fears are no different. So this is just a very good example of what it looks like when you're tired. And you're going to have days like this in your life. I mean, me and Rob, the level that we work and what we have to do, the balancing the business and me helping him run the business, and then stuff in my own business with Erica, and then having to maintain a relationship. I got 2 dogs. Milo got attacked in a dog fight the other day. I'm looking at him right now. He's still missing a chunk from his back. I had to stay calm in that when I saw red. Anyone that has a dog and their dog gets attacked, Dog ran across the street, attacked Milo. Was like instantaneous death red. And I stayed very calm. I was very proud of myself. I got home and I was like, yeah. You know, I did come home and scream my head off. I was like, motherfucker. So things like this can happen. Like, you know what I mean? Just this idea of the recovered state is not this blissful, eternal, non-tired state. Things like this won't happen. Not if you're taking risk. Not if you're taking risk and you're trying to build something, maybe a business or trying to raise a family or traveling and doing new things and going to a pizza place at 1:30 in the morning. You're going to have days where you're tired. It's just the way the world goes. When I go to Ultra in Miami, trust me, I sleep like 4 hours a day, 3 days in a row. So, but not like I did now. This is a tired state for sure. So if you need help with breaking down insomnia, there's no panic and anxiety based around this. I'm just tired. It is to show you what you can do and the myths behind it. And the webinars and one-to-one coaching, again, Phil at OCDrecovery.com. Hope to hear from you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.